They say you never step into the same river twice. This time, I'm back in Wexford. But the energy has shifted. It's just the two of us this time. While a big group brings laughter, traveling with just one companion brings a different kind of depth. It's quieter. There's more space for the silence to speak. In the small space of a car, conversation becomes more intentional. We aren't just passing time, we're sharing it. It's another lesson in presence, noticing the way the light hits the hedgerows or how the conversation flows without the need to fill every gap. You know what? It reminds me of Tarzan movie. The sounds from above goes down.
Taylor? I just think Taylor's gone off to run a tea shop. I cannot feel it made for a very restful retirement, can you?
The next morning, we headed to the harbor for the Saltee Safari. For only €45, you aren't just buying a boat ride. You're buying a front row seat to one of Ireland's most ancient kingdoms. Before we boarded, they handed us our gear. These heavy flotation suits. They're thick, slightly awkward, but they make you feel invincible against the Irish wind. I remember Claire and I looking at the sizes, wondering how we'd ever fit into them. We didn't have a clue if they'd actually fit, but in that moment, we just laughed and said, let it be. Hi.
Oh, really? No, the question?
It was a small lesson in itself, not overthinking the fit, but just embracing the process. Meet Rory, our guide for today's sea safari. The moment we stepped onto the boat, his warmth and energy made us feel right at home.
Are you expecting somebody else?
Put your hand up if you're not here. Right guys, my name's Rory anyway. Life jackets are fully automatic.
As we settled into our seats, he gave us a quick introduction, setting the tone for the adventure ahead. As you have witnessed, because Claire and I were the last to board, we ended up right at the back of the boat, sitting just inches away from the powerful engines and right next to Rory. It turned out to be the best seats in the house for catching all the action. With the turn of the key, the engines roared to life and we broke away from the harbor, heading out in the open Celtic Sea.
Guys, this is little Saltee Islands, about 100 acres inside.
Our first glimpse of the journey was the little Saltee Island. While Rory shared some incredible local insight with us, the history of this place is fascinating. Unlike its larger neighbor, Little Saltee is privately owned but shares the same rugged, ancient spirit. It's a sanctuary of untouched beauty, blanketed in bluebells in the spring, and steeped in tales of smugglers and pirates who once used these jagged shores as a hiding place centuries ago. Looking at it from the water, you can truly feel how wild and untamed this part of Ireland remains.
So can you see just off your left hand side those rocks leading out into the water? That's known as St. Patrick's Bridge, right?
Rory pointed out into the water toward a striking shallow ridge known as St. Patrick's Bridge. It's a natural boulder causeway that stretches nearly 4 kilometers from the mainland right out toward the islands. Geologists say it's a remnant from the last ice age, a glacial moraine left behind thousands of years ago.
Over the years it's eroded away, so now in the middle you can see the green and the red markers. There's enough depth, even on a spring low tide there's about 2 meters of water over it in the middle, so they can't do that anymore. So yeah, he has to bring them in and out in boats now. The cows are actually easier. The cows will sort of have a bit of common sense and they might actually swim in a straight line once you let them off the boat. You get them in as close as you can, but the sheep, Yeah.
Local folklore tells us a story. Legend has it that Saint Patrick was chasing the devil out of Ireland and flung a massive trail of stones into the Celtic Sea, trying to catch him. But today, it's a notorious hazard for ships, but a complete haven for marine life. Looking up at the cliffs of Little Saltee, you can already start to see the wildlife that makes this island's world famous. Rory mentioned that while it's a haven for thousands of nesting seabirds, this smaller island is also unique because it still has primitive soy sheep and rare native Irish Kerry cattle grazing on the high slopes. And he also mentioned that the stone chimney poking up over the landscape belongs to the only house on Little Saltee. It was built back in the mid-1800s, and for a long time, it belonged to the local Neil family who actually lived on the island and farmed it. Today, it stands as a lonely, beautiful reminder of the days when people managed to carve out a life on this isolated outpost. And now, our main destination was just ahead, leaving the smaller island behind. The silhouette of the great salty island began to loom larger in the frame. This is the ultimate sanctuary, home to over 20,000 breeding seabirds, a massive colony of gray seals, and an island with a history so wild, it even has its own self-proclaimed royal family. As we got closer, the sheer scale of the island began to sink in. The sky and the cliffs were absolutely alive with movement. Even from the water, you can hear the chaotic symphony of thousands of birds nesting on the sheer rock faces.
So this is very salty, like guys. This is about 250 acres.
Among the massive colonies up there are guillemots
Will be a matte black and it'll have a long straight beak.
and razorbills.
And the razorbill will have a white line from its eye to the tip of its beak, and it'll have a curved beak. So from a distance they'll look the same, but if we get a little bit closer you should start to spot the differences. All these birds migrate at the same time. So you see now there's a good few razorbills on our left hand side just to see the difference.
But the real rulers of these cliffs are the gannets.
So directly in front of us, can you see the large white birds with the yellow head? These are gannets. Gannets are the largest European seabird. Fully grown, they have a wingspan of over 6 foot. And they actually mate for life with the same partner, and they come back to the same nest every year. They'll be here till about the end of September, and we'll head down to the Mediterranean. Can you spot that one in front of us carrying a bit of seaweed? It's just landed. I was a bit late pointing that out, but that'll be the male gannet. So the male gannet goes off and he gets little twigs and branches, bits of seaweed and little bits of rope and everything, and he brings it back and he passes it over to the female gannet. And she sets the nest up the way that she wants it. And then once she's content for her nest, you see the picture makes up each other. It's like a friendship.
As we coasted along the edge of the island, Rory spotted something moving in the surf, and that is the gray seal.
If you just keep your eyes peeled, you'll see him in the water. What's his name? Jay. The seals are actually really inquisitive. They're always keeping an eye on you. It's about 80 foot inside. There's actually 3 entrances.
Back during the 1798 rebellion, two of the main rebel leaders, Vaginal Harvey and John Henry Colclough, fled the mainland and hid out in a cave right here on Great Saltee, hoping to escape to France. The story goes that soldiers finally caught them because they spotted soapy water or smoke trickling out from the rocks while the men were washing. While we were busy scanning the cliffs for wildlife, we spotted something else moving on the hills. Look closely, actual humans.
Rare one.
like just stopping here and actually having a look around. You start to realise how many birds are here. Yeah, we've been out here. Yeah, always.
I agree with what Rory said. When you actually pause and look around, the sheer numbers are unimaginable.
A lot of the reason for so many birds on this island, there's no predators. So even there was rats on it up until 2021. And the national parks came out here, and in the winter when there wasn't much feed, they like put loads of poison down for them. And like none of us thought you could get rid of all the rats, and they actually have. So the puffins and stuff like who nest in the burrows, they're just exploding in numbers ever since.
Rory brought up some of the island's most surprising residents, rats and rabbits.
Explode in numbers, then they get sick and they disappear. Sunday day, it's like the Caribbean. For a few miles offshore, it's crazy how different it is.
As Rory brought the boat to a gentle idle near the cliffs, the noise of the engines faded, replaced entirely by the sound of the wind and the birds. It's a kind of movement that completely stops you in your track. The waters beneath us are actually part of the locals called the Graveyard of 1,000 Ships. Rory mentioned a fascinating piece of wartime history right here. A German U-boat from the World Wars.
There's a U-boat shot at or it hit rocks, but that's where it sank in his diving room.
Look up, high above us, slicing through the sea air, are the unmistakable silhouettes of puffins. Even though they are moving incredibly fast, you can tell it's them by that distinct, hectic flopping style. They look like little clockwork toys flying through the sky. Seeing them zoom over these massive towering cliffs are absolutely breathtaking. The sheer scale of the rock faces dropping straight into the foaming Celtic Sea is pure magic.
larger gannet colony then, guys. There was about 2,500 breeding pairs here. The avian bird flu actually got to them and it's thinned them out quite a lot, but they are bouncing back. That was about 3 years ago, but they're coming back. The gannets are able to hit the water at over 60 miles an hour and they have a film over their eyeballs and they can keep their eyes open, so that once they hit the water they can follow on the fish.
As we get closer to the main cliffs, we started passing massive rafts of birds just peacefully floating together on the water, resting up before their next dive. We even cruised past another small boat out here.
So originally Michael Neal was from Bannow, and you can see Bannow is about 15 minutes away from Kilmorkey, and he could see the islands from his kitchen window. When he was 10 years old, he said to his mother one day, he said, "I'm going to buy the island when I'm older." And he did. He made a lot of money during the Second World War selling fertiliser. All the ruins you can see at the top of the stairs, they're the remains of the old village. So this island was actually lived on permanently until 1921. And the story is that when they're having to travel back to the mainland to run mass, and it was becoming too much effort, so they couldn't pay on it. But they used to successfully farm wheat and barley, and they had stock. So yeah, there was a little community and everything.
It is incredible to see how resilient these beautiful birds are. This whole spectacular sanctuary is completely protected today. largely thanks to the Neil family. Navigating these currents takes serious skill, but with the engine slowing down and the landing beach finally coming into view, our sea safari is over. It's finally time to step onto the great Saltee Island.
Gosh.
Thanks very much for that, lads.
Thank you. Thanks again. Thank you so much. I'm exhausted now. Do you? The adrenaline rush.
After an incredible unforgettable day out on the water, there is only one correct way to end a sea safari in Wexford, and that's with a massive feast. We headed straight to Mary Berry's in Kilmore, which is legendary around these parts for its seafood. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint. We ordered an absolute mountain of food to refuel. Juicy local mussels steaming in garlic broth, crisp calamari, beautifully seasoned shrimp. I can say that Wexford truly has a way of stealing your heart. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you like this video, and thank you for coming along on this journey with me. Don't forget to like, comment your favorite part of the trip, and subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure. Until next time, bye-bye.